NBA YoungBoy has been told by a judge that he is a reckless and dangerous human being. There's so many new updates in this court case making it more and more concerning. We need to speak about this, so let's get straight into it. So to understand all of NBA YoungBoy's charges against him right now, you need to hear how he was arrested in the first place. Now, NBA YoungBoy was arrested last year for one count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, as well as one count of possession of a firearm that's not registered on the National Firearms Registration List. After sitting in jail for a few weeks, he was then later released on bail until the trial starts for his court case. And well, the court case finally started, and NBA YoungBoy was actually a no-show. This means that NBA YoungBoy had a warrant out for his arrest, and knowing his priors record, everything had to go to plan with the law enforcement, and they did not want to take this lightly. This meant that the FBI actually ended up hopping on the case for the search for NBA YoungBoy. This turned out to actually have an entire law enforcement operation team be created of regular law enforcement and FBI, and the operation team ended up being called Never Free Again. So this search, it basically started with the FBI looking over the streets near his house, kind of having like a stakeout, waiting for him to leave his property, and well, they finally found him. NBA YoungBoy ended up pulling out of his property in one of his vehicles. The FBI ended up following NBA YoungBoy, get onto the highway, and they ended up signaling NBA YoungBoy to pull his car over to the side of the highway to make the arrest. At first, NBA YoungBoy was actually listening to what the FBI agent was doing, signaling him to pull his car over. When the FBI car actually went to a complete full stop and started getting out of his vehicle, NBA YoungBoy then floored it down the highway, going the max speed that I believe his car can even go. While going down the highway, NBA YoungBoy, he started hitting traffic at a pretty alarming rate. It actually ended up making him kind of drift off of the highway. Allegedly, YoungBoy was actually at one point driving in the lane where you're supposed to pull your car over, and NBA YoungBoy ended up finally getting off of the highway and hitting the regular streets. When hitting the regular streets, he once again ran into more traffic at a red light. That's when NBA YoungBoy ended up hopping out of his vehicle and then started a chase on foot. Now the FBI, they already knew what was going on and that NBA YoungBoy left his vehicle. This ended up having the FBI and law enforcement create a perimeter circle, which basically means there's agents at all intersections and all over the place in a massive circle, basically with them all closing in on NBA YoungBoy, that way he couldn't make a crazy escape. Now on this day, NBA YoungBoy was wearing designer shoes, skinny jeans, chains, and a jacket. This is probably not the best outfit for running from the FBI agents, but it is what it is. Now NBA YoungBoy was able to get into kind of like a neighborhood, and funny enough, while NBA YoungBoy was running from the FBI, he ended up hopping a fence into some backyard. Turns out this backyard actually belonged to one of his own fans. Now in the fan's backyard, the fan actually just so happened to be out on their balcony. They ended up taking photos and a video of NBA YoungBoy running away from the FBI. I'll even show some of the photos on screen. The fans were encouraging NBA YoungBoy to run faster, and that the FBI agent was getting very close to him. This is some stuff you just can't make up. Now, NBA YoungBoy did end up getting arrested by the FBI agent. He was taken into jail to await his trial. Now, as his charges weren't already serious enough, the high-speed chase may have just ruined his entire life, as he's now looked at very poorly in court. It was announced by a judge just a few weeks ago that he has now been ruled to be a reckless and dangerous human being, and the judge refuses to let him be released on house arrest or even released on bail until his court trial starts. Now, this could be because the last time he was released on bail, he ended up having this high-speed chase. NBA YoungBoy was indicted by a grand jury on March 10th. He was charged with 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, as well as I said earlier, 1 count of possession of a firearm that's not registered on the National Firearms Registration List. Now, due to those official charges, a judge deemed NBA YoungBoy not suitable to be out on the streets until his trial started. In that same courtroom on that same day, these 2 photos of NBA YoungBoy were shown. In these photos, NBA YoungBoy is seen holding a firearm while taking a photo with a minor, as well as sitting on a vehicle recording a music video, flashing around a firearm which did have a magazine inside of it. NBA YoungBoy then responds to the court by saying, and I quote, "I can leave my kids millions of dollars to divide, but I can't give them the time that they truly deserve. Nobody understands me, they've never did. Sometimes I don't even understand myself, but that's fine because I'm okay. I ain't looking for you to feel sorry for me, but I do ask for one thing, and that's for you to let me suffer in peace and tell Miss Wendy Williams I say she is a good soul and that she's a beautiful woman. I can see through all of the bad comments thrown at her. Tell her to count her blessings and stay in good spirits. Sincerely, NBA YoungBoy." Now, as it's being rumored right now, NBA YoungBoy will be facing around 15 to 20 years in prison for these charges. Now, this could be considered a life sentence in prison, as NBA YoungBoy will be pretty old by the time he gets released if he ends up getting sentenced to the maximum time. As it looks right now, the law enforcement are still trying to figure out a way to give him charges for the high-speed chase. It has been said by some people online that NBA YoungBoy could allegedly be facing another 5 to 8 years in prison for the high-speed chase, as well as a resisting arrest charge. Now, that has not been confirmed, and I cannot stress that enough, but I really hope no more charges gets added to his sentence. It has been said by NBA YoungBoy himself via a jail phone call that he had with his manager that he is doing well. He's holding his own within jail right now, and he's just currently trying to continue writing new music and figuring out new ways to improve his business, which would be the music career. Now, one way NBA YoungBoy decided on, improving his business is him actually recording a new single through the jail phone. Now, the full song has not been released, nor can I share any of it in this video due to copyright. Just know there is a new NBA YoungBoy song being released very soon, which is him basically singing over a phone call with him in jail. Now, anyways, I am ending the video here. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Anyways, it has been District Trending, and I'm out. Peace.